Alrighty, welcome to our very first episode of Meta-Morph. I am your host, Dakota. My partner here is Luan, and we are hosting Meta-Morph. Meta-Morph is our opportunity to present a rogue level strategy that our fans have either voted on, given us, or recommended to us, and we're taking it into the modern meta. I'll introduce my co-host here. This is Luan.
Good evening.
And today we're going to be going over a fan favorite of our channel, Dinomist. So this is Dinomist. We have 3 lists for you guys right now. We have a current TCG one, and then we have 2 ones after Darkwing Blast. So, Luan, do you want to start us off with your, we called this Adventure Dinomist. So why don't you start us off with this?
Alright, so let's just start off quickly with the monsters. Then I can talk a little bit of the strategy afterwards. So starting off, we have 2 Abyss Actor Curtain Raisers. We have 1 Dinomist Ankylos, 2 Brachion, 3 Ceratops, 3 Plesios, 3 Terran, 1 Rex, 1 Spinos, 2 Stego, 1 Silent Angler, 1 Wandering Griffin, 3 Enchantress, 3 Dinomist Charge, 1 Draco Bag, 2 Econs, 1 Faithful Adventure, 2 Limiter Removal, 1 Pendulum Treasure, 2 Prosperity, 2 Ready Fusions, 2 Rite of Ardent Seer, 1 Rush, and 1, what's the last one?
Howling.
Avalanche?
Howling. Yeah. And then the extra.
Yeah. So in the extra, we have 1 Cybersaurus, 1 Rare Fish, 1 Dweller, 1 Bahamut Shark, 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity, 1 Nova, 1 Zeus, 1 Babushka, 1 Shark Fortress, 1 Toad, 1 Beyond the Pendulum, 1 Bujin, Link Monster, 1 IP, 1 Abramax, and 1 Zephyr's Metatron. So I guess to start off with the Curtain Risers, a special check in here. It's essentially a free pendulum monster that allows you to extend further to either make your rank 4 plays, make your Link 2 Beyond the Pendulum for additional search. That's basically what that does. The reason why we only play 1 Ankylos, it's honestly not that great, but it's an additional scale that we use and monster if you pendulum summon it to go into further combos. Now Brachion, we run 2 of that just because the reason why we don't just play the 1, it's an additional, it acts just like a Cyber Dragon with a little bit more restrictions to it. But it is also another level 5 to get into our bigger monsters. So water, it's just overall pretty good. Now we play the 3 Ceratop. That's probably the best one that we have right now. You control any Dinomist monster that's not, itself. You can special summon it. That's the biggest part of it. 3 Plesios to get over those big monsters. Again, it's another name. It's probably your best 6 scale. After that, you play the 3 Terran. It's just like good old Blackwing. What's that Blackwing? Shura, yeah. Does exactly the same thing, but better.
Yeah, it adds it this time.
Again, it's the water.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a water, it's probably one of the best, the second best one besides Plesios. And then we play 1 of each of the OTK kind of monsters. The reason I played the 1 of each, they're easy enough to get to. With how much searching and resources that you get from this deck, there is no reason why you shouldn't get it. And then we play 2 Stego. Right now we play the 2 Stego just because it's another name. It's another low-level pendulum scale. and again, it's another water.
And at the very
We
least,
play the-
you can run it into something and crash and get it pops.
That's correct. Yep. We play the one angler. The reason why we play the one angler over multiple of it is because we have the curtain riser. It's a nice level 4 water, don't get me wrong, but the best board you're going to end up with just angler is probably just Bahamut Shark Toad.
Yeah.
With curtain riser, you can go into an Avermax Toad, which is significantly better, or you can even make your Avermax Infinity. And then obviously we have our adventure package, provides us additional negates, don't have to worry about Nibiru, that sort of stuff. And it provides you additional monsters in case you do run into the Nibiru, you can use the token to link it to.
Yeah, it really helps get stuff going too. The fact that this deck has no on-summon effects for normal summon provided the opportunity for us to play the Enchantress package in this, or the right package in this.
Yep.
And then Dinomist Charge.
And even, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, even seeing double Enchantress is still really good. It's a free monster that you have to special to even link climb even further. Now, Dinomist Charge is probably the single best card in this deck. You add a Dinomist, and as soon as one of your Dinomist cards go right to the extra deck, man, just add it right back. Provides you that follow-up and extension.
Card's phenomenal.
Oh.
Dinomist Adventure, yeah, sir.
Yep. And then because the deck going second can have issues OTKing through defense position monsters, we play the Econs in here. And then not only that, it combos extremely well with Dinomist Charge.
Mm-hmm.
You get one of their free monsters, and you get a follow-up monster for the next turn.
And of course, we play the Fateful Adventure and the one Draco back if we have to.
Yep, exactly.
Double limiter removal.
What can I say? It's Dinomist. They're all machines. They can easily OTK. You know, if you get your Spinos off to double attack and attack directly twice, man, that is an OTK right there.
Yes, sir. This card is nuts. This card's phenomenal. Plus, it turns Terran into a 3600 monster that gets you free searches.
Correct.
Pendulum Treasure. So this one's more of a U-Tech card, so why don't you explain this one?
I personally like the Pendulum Treasure because there'll be instances where you only have 3 monsters and you need the additional monster to full combo into making that Avermax Toad or Avermax Infinity. And so it provides you in a free extender. You can just pendulum summon it out under your monsters. It's phenomenal.
And then Double Prosperity.
Consistency. We need to see those high value cards like Charge and occasionally the Pendulum Treasure.
And a lot of our extra too is just there to be there.
Yes.
Like it's potentially stuff we could go into. Realistically, bare bones, we need probably the instant fusion targets, Dweller, Bahamut. We could cut it like the Shark Fortress can go, the Baguska can go, the Arahima can go, the Metatron can go. Like all that stuff. Like if we need to dig, we can.
Correct. Yeah.
2 ready fusion.
Additional extenders. Pretty straightforward, I would say.
Yeah. Double Rite of Aramasir. So we thought the ratios for this deck are 3-2. The fact that Water Enchanters can also get it back from grave means you can get away with playing 2 right rather than playing 3. Because 3 at times honestly can be bricky. And then the 1 Rush, 1 Howling. I wish there was a better way to search these.
I 100% agree. But Rush is not that great right now.
Yeah.
Back in a slower game, Rush was fantastic. You can easily get over stuff, but Rush right now is just way too slow. Dinomist Howling is very similar. If that was a spell card, it'd be phenomenal. But
yeah,
you're going first or second. Yeah, you're going first or second. It's kind of useless. You're at that point, you're really just using it to bounce cards your opponent controls.
Right. And then the extra is pretty self-explanatory. The Cybersaurus is a level 5 machine. Rare Fish is a level 4 water. These are big plays for our Nova and our Bahamut Shark. It makes going into them much easier. Infinity is the whole reason we're playing Nova. It's a free negate and a steal. Zeus is Zeus. Zeus is going to be doing Zeus things. Baguska is the play for when we don't have much, or in a situation with a simplified game state and we need to build back resources. Baguska is phenomenal. Shark Forge is another OTK card. It helps, like, you can make second monster make a second battle attack. So if you have situations where you have like Toad plus, Shark Fortress, you can make Toad attack twice, and that's a lot more damage. Or even target itself.
Yeah. How you can make Rex attack multiple times and get free bounces that way. It's a free extender essentially, but it's usually something we'll banish off of Prosperity.
Right.
It's cheeky. It can come up, but not too much.
And then we have Beyond the Pendulum, since we don't have Electromite.
Thank God.
It gets you a search. I mean, you are paying $1,200, but it gets you a search, helps you fill out your pieces. If going second, it helps you pop cards too, especially if your Pendulum summoning into 2, which can come up. Honestly, it's the best Link monster we have for this deck right now. The one Ahashima, so this card just lets you make another rank 5 or rank 4 play. It helps for follow-up plays, so it could be situations where you already burned through your Nova, burned through your Infinity, or you've burned through your Bahamut Shark, and you need to overlay. You can quickly make this, and it can help you get back materials from Graveyard.
Correct. And most of the time, you should at least have a monster in your hand if you're using Charge's effect.
Right. And then IP Avermax. So these are more like current meta calls than anything. IP is going to let you interrupt your opponent if you need to. But mostly we're using it as an additional link point. If we don't need to go beyond the pendulum, we can go IP, summon 2 to the link points, and then make the Avermax that way.
Yeah. And imagine a practically indestructible Avermax.
Right. And Avermax is this deck, from what I'm seeing, is ending with Avermax, Wright, Griffin, and sometimes Infinity, sometimes Toad.
Nope.
And then Metatron. So Metatron was a card we played really early on in Pendulum Magicians. It's actually better now than it used to be, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on this card. At least from the Pendulum perspective. Because it lets you... Go ahead. Yeah,
when you don't have those large plays to make into your IP Avermax plays, then you just make a Metatron, and it allows you free recursion.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Then we have some side options here. The cards in the side deck are just cards we could play more of, like the third Right, the second Pendulum Treasure, the third Limiter Removal. Goddess could also be a meta call. Cliffort Genius is another kind of pseudo link 2 that we can use. It also lets you pop off stuff. It lets you also search level 5 machines, so it can get you further if needed. Area is just really good. It's also a really good meta call this format. Theseus is a level 5 tuner, which means we can go into potentially Baron plays or even Shen plays, which could be really good.
Yep, that's
and then
correct.
Barrier Statue of the Torrent. I mean, it's a water body. What are you going to do?
Yeah, the deck is really good with protecting your Barrier Statue. Granted, you don't have many ways to search it, so having to hard draw it or seeing it off Prosperity is your best way of seeing it. But it is, if you want to play a more control version of it, then we can build a Barrier Statue variant of this.
Yeah, what is it? Gizmek, the Fox one, also can get this play going, if I remember this correctly. But it requires some setup. It's actually really good, this format, especially against Sprite, because the minute they go Swap Frog, you can go Barrier Statue.
Yep.
So this is the current... If you want to play this list in the TCG, bam, you can play this list literally tonight if you wanted to. The next 2 lists we have are more so after Darkwing Blast, after we get the new support. So we'll go over... Again, we're going to go over Luan's other list first, and then we'll go over mine. So again, this is Adventure Dinomist. Again, the deck doesn't really need a normal summon. The major changes here being introduced are the third Prosperity, of course. We took out a few of the other Dinomist cards to play Dynamite Power Load the Draco Slayer. So, do you want to explain this card, or do you want me to explain this card?
Oh no, this card is probably the most broken card in Dinomist coming out. While it's in the Pendulum Zone, you can target a Draco Slayer or Dinomist in your Pendulum and special summon. That is a free extender for a Dinomist. And if you have Dinomist charge, that monster just goes right back to your hand once you link it off.
Yep.
Now its monster effect, if it's tributed, you can add a face-up Draco Slayer or Dinomist Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. So that's where it combos off with cards like Econ. Huge. You get one of their free monsters and you get recursion. Not only once on your turn from charge, but twice during your opponent's turn. Phenomenal.
So it turns a 2-for-1 into essentially a 4-for-2.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're going to be able to tribute off, take their monster. This will trigger to add back another piece. Dinomist Charge will trigger to add back the Dynamite Power Load to hand. So now you have their monster plus 2 additional cards in hand.
Correct.
Oh, yeah,
and this is more of a control variant, which is why we have the barrier statues and the droplets in there, just because they're ways to keep your barrier statue alive, so next turn you can just straight up murder the hell out of them.
Right. The only real changes in the extra deck here, too, Kraken is insanely good in this deck. It makes everything water, which can come up.
Yep.
It also lets you quick effect destroy one modern monster on your opponent controls and inflict damage to their attack equal to half. If we had the room, we could probably play a Stealth Kraken, but honestly, at the moment, we don't. We could probably cut the Vespinato for it. But Vespinato is kind of our play into Zeus. It's our quote-unquote downard.
Yep, indeed.
Vespinato is also a really just powerful card. The other addition to this list that we don't have yet is the Zealantis, the World Ocean Dragon. So this card essentially lets you take everything on the field, remove it, and then bring it back in the way you want to put it back. And then during the battle phase, it lets you pop cards equal to the number of cards co-linked on the field. Not you control, not that are co-linked to this card, just co-linked on the field in general. So there's some very cheeky things you can do with this as well.
It's fantastic for making those defense position monsters right in attack position.
Yep. But yes, this is our secondary list. There's a few side options we've talked about. Halk and Side-Tree are really good in this deck. It lets you go into synchro plays. Because a lot of your deck is level 5 and level 2, you can also, or level 4, you can go into level 6 machines, you can go into level 7 machines, potentially. It also lets you link climb because it uses effect from graveyard, which is really good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's just a phenomenal card. Also, potential options are Regulus. Regulus is a machine, lets you gets a free negate on board. It's a level 8, also something we've talked about. You could play a very small Disc Coliseum package. Therion could be a potential list we test with this moving forward as well. So that's something we could be on the lookout for. Duelist Alliance lets you add a Pendulum card, so you can search into Pendulum Call for maybe potential Pendulum Magician plays, or go into the Pendulum Treasure that way as well.
Yep.
So this is our more control-based list. Now we have my combo list. So this is either Lockout or Punch You in the Mouth as hard as I can, depending on how you want to look at it. So I'm playing 3 of the Spinos, 3 Rex, 3 Ceratops, 3 Brachion, 3 Terran, 3 Plesios, 3 Stegosaur, 0 Ankylos, but I am playing 3 of the Dynamite Power Load. And we'll be showing off these deck combos here in just a second, so stick around for that. 3 Dinomist Charge, 1 Instant Fusion, double Ready Fusion, double Desires, 3 Buzzsaw Shark, 2 Silent Angler, 2 Beautiful Princess, and the 1 Called by the Grave. The reason I'm playing the Buzzsaw package with the Tuneful, this deck doesn't really need a normal summon unless you're really down on resources. So Beautiful Princess can get you into a rank 4 play, can get you into a Toad really early if needed. But it also lets you combo off, and if you need to, you can make Dweller plus Kraken, which is really good. It also helps you get into other pieces that you may need to later on. So these are our current lists. I'm just going to download these real quick. We're going to bring them in to the team's dueling book. And we're going to run through some combos. Luwan, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You can go ahead and go first.
Okay.
Unless you want to do the TCG one right now.
Yeah, we'll do the TCG one first. Just going to bring these in real quick. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up on my side, and Luwan's going to walk us through the combo.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. So we'll start with the TCG list. So right off the bat, we have Plesio's, Charge, Aramesir, Ceratops, Limiter Removal. This hand is absolutely disgusting.
It really is. So obviously, we'll start off with the right.
Yep, go right, activate, declare, getting us the continuous spell and a body. So there, summon a token, bam. From here, we'll probably activate Dinomist Charge, right?
Yep.
So we're going to activate Dinomist Charge, get the effect, and search us a body. Which body should we search here? So we have a 6 and a 3. So we probably want to search a low scale here, correct?
It honestly does not matter because we already have both. I personally would love to search another Plesios.
Another Plesios.
Actually, let's do Brachion. Let's do more pendulum plays.
You got it. We're going to grab Brachion here. Where is he?
Like I said, Brachion is probably our worst Dinomist, considering the restrictions for the Cyber Dragon effect. So we'll go normal summon Plesios.
We're going to declare the effect of Faithful.
Yep.
Getting us the equip spell. And then probably going to chain this at the same time to get us the Griffin Rider, correct?
Yep.
And then we'll pitch the
the
Draco
Griffin.
back. Chain 1, declare Draco back to equip. And then chain 2, Griffin Rider to special summon.
Yep.
Boop. And boop. Well, since we already have a Dinomist on the field, we can special summon the Ceratops.
That is correct.
From here, we can link 2, correct?
Yep. We're going to add back the Plesios to hand off of Charge.
So we're going to go Beyond the Pendulum 1, Dinomist Charge 2. Charge is going to add us back the Plesios. And then we're going to search off Beyond the Pendulum by paying 1,200.
Yep.
And what are we grabbing off of that?
So we're going to make a Cyber Dragon and Infinity play here. So we need a low scale because we already have Plesio with a high scale. So we're going to add that. Probably Terran to hand, so we have that in rotation. Now, if you want, you could also add Spinos if you want to see that in rotation for next turn. But we're going to activate both of the level 4 scales.
Okay.
Now we're going to Pendulum Summon our Brachion and Ceratops.
We're going to make Nova. And then Infinity.
Right.
So this is just one board this deck can do too. But I mean, we set up 2 negates. If we had the room, we have limiter removal as well.
Yep. Now you can always take that Griffin Rider and token to make your other combo plays into your Abramax, but for the most part, you don't really need to.
Right. So this is our TCG build of Dinomist that we think can be competitive. We'll run through one more test hand with this, just because there are other plays we can make as well.
Yep. So instead of setting the level 4s, you can set the level 5s by changing the way you add your monsters. So remember how we added the level 4 off of charge? Now you could add the level 5, make the same plays of the setting the 5s as your pendulum scales, and you can make your Bahamut Shark Toad that way.
Right. So with this hand, we can do pretty much a similar board. We're going to start again with Dinomist Charge. We don't have the Ceratops, so we probably want to get Ceratops in rotation as soon as possible here.
That's correct. Your Ceratops is your best Dinomist extender.
It absolutely is. From here, we can just normal summon the Terran, special summoning.
I would normal summon your worst one, which is your Ankylos.
That's fine. We can do that as well. So we can just normal summon the Ankylos, special summon the Terratop. Put these in the extra.
Yep.
Make our Beyond the Pendulum. Again, chain block, so chain link 1, Beyond the Pendulum, chain link 2, Dinomist Charge. Dinomist Charge is going to add back. We have the high scale, or low scale, we need the high scale here. So we're going to grab Ankylos probably, or do you want to make the level 4 play here?
So you can make the level 4 play, so we're going to add the level 4 Dinomist.
And then we're going to search off the Beyond the Pendulum. What are we searching off Beyond the Pendulum?
We are going to search, let's see, we'll add the Brachion again.
Brachion again.
Yep.
So we have a low scale, we have a high scale. We can do some different things with this now. So we can go activate Terran, because it's our low scale. Activate Brachion.
So you go, well, this, right now we're making another 5 scale here. An infinity with what we have. So instead of activating the Brachion, you would activate the Ankylos.
Gotcha. And then Pendulum Summon.
Yep.
Boom, boom. Overlay for Nova and Infinity.
So again, very similar. In this case, we have the Ready Fusion extender, in which case we just take the Beyond and whatever Ready Fusion target and make that Zetatron.
Yeah. With his hand, also, we could have made IP Avermax with a Toad. Or
Correct,
Avermax
yes.
with a Toad. So that's something we can consider as well.
You just have to keep in mind what level you're going to add back off of your charge and what you're adding off of Beyond.
Right.
So before we added the level 5, which got us a Pendulum 2 level 5s. So same thing, it was here, we Pendulum 2 level 5s.
So this is, again, our TCG list. We have an OCG list we're going to go over right now. So we have the Competitive Dinomist OCG list. Again, this is a Luan list, so I'll let him run through this. Ceratops Griffin Rider, not a great hand. I'm just going to reset it because, unfortunately, it's not a very decent hand. I want to show you guys the best combo possible. This will work.
Oh, this will absolutely work. We go right.
Always start off with the right.
Yep.
And then get a body. And then from here, I'm assuming normal summon Plesios.
Yep.
Special
Exactly
summoning
right.
Ceratops.
Yep.
Extra deck. Extra deck.
We get our equipped.
Yep.
We get
All
equipped.
right
We get Griffin Rider. Easy.
Yeah, so we can get the equip here. To hand. We're going to get our Pendulum as well. We're going to grab Dynamite Power Load this time. Because this card's
Correct.
insanely good.
That card is broken as hell.
We're going to go Faithful Adventure here. We're going to pitch the Draco back. And we're going to grab us the Griffin Rider. I know you usually add then pitch. It's fine. We're going to go Chain Link 1, declare Griffin Rider. I'm sorry, declare Draco back. Chain Link 2, declare Griffin Rider. So we're going to go Special Summon this. And we're going to equip this. And then from here, we can activate, and pendulum summon. So we're gonna go 1, 2, doesn't matter, it's the same card, and 3. So from here, we can actually do some very interesting things. We're going to overlay the 2 Plesios.
You make your Toad.
Make Bahamut.
Yep.
Detach, summon the Totally Awesome. From here, we can link off if we want to. We can actually just link 4 here and make Avermax now. Or we can link these 2 off and make IP Avermax that way.
I would make the IP Avermax.
So we'll put
it is a lot harder to out in Avermax when it can't be destroyed by card effects.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to skip a step here. We're going to make... Oh, there's no IP in this one. This is the non-IP build.
Yeah, I didn't change the X-ray in that one.
No worries. So yeah, typically with this, you can just make IP Avermax as well. So Avermax, Toad, plus Griffin Rider, negate. We can also potentially Dynamite summon back the Stegosaur in defense, so we have an additional body that way. So that's 2 negates plus an untouchable monster. It's pretty good.
Can't be, an untouchable Avermax, essentially, that can't be destroyed by card effects, can't be targeted by card effects, and your opponent has to attack it.
Right. So I'm just going to reset here. We'll run through one more test hand. Just whatever it is, we're going to run through it. I mean, Faithful Adventure's not great, but it'll work.
Yeah, it still works.
We can activate the Faithful Adventure. We can just normal summon the Plesios, declare effect, get us the equip spell. We can go Faithful Adventure as well, and getting us, this time we're going to search the Water Enchantress.
Yep, we just add and ditch it.
It's pretty good, yeah. Then we just pitch this. We'll go effect to banish, getting us the Rite of Aramasir. Activating this, getting us a token. Unfortunately, we can't get the ad for the right, but it's fine. Equip the Dracobax, and now we have another big body to deal with. Special summoning Ceratops. Link 2. Go into Beyond the Pendulum once again. Pay 12. We're going to grab... Unfortunately, we can't grab Dynamite here because we need the low scale.
Right.
But we could...
So unfortunately, this board is really just going to make an Avermax and a unkillable token.
Yeah, we have an unkillable token and unkillable Avermax. So we'll activate. Pendulum summoning 2. And then we link 2 for IP, link 2 into Avermax. And then we have limiter removal as well. If we ever just want to leave these out, like we can just leave these out and just set the limiter removal pass. Because our opponent has to deal with minus 400, which is enough. And then our pendulum scales actually do things too. So while this card's in your pendulum zone, you can negate and activate a card effect that targets another Dinomist card you control and destroy that card. Destroy this card. And then Terran says all the 3 scales and all the 6 scales have the exact same effects. So if another Dinomist card you control will be destroyed by battle or by opponent's card effect, you can destroy this card instead.
Yep, every Dinomist effect has that same pendulum effect except for power load.
Right. So this is my OCG combo wombo deck. Luan tends to be more of our control player, whereas I'm more of a combo player, and which is why, oh man, this hand is cracked. I tend to do more of these kind of plays. So we're going to start off, again, not a great hand, unfortunately, but we can definitely do things with it. So we can activate Dynamite, activate Brachion, declare the effect of Dynamite, special summoning the Brachion. We can normal summon the Terran, link 2, making Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond the Pendulum is going to activate now. We also could make the Clifford Genius here and search an additional level 5. But right now, we're just going to use it to search a scale. So we're going to go Beyond the Pendulum. We're going to search a low scale here. It typically doesn't matter what you're searching as long as you're searching a low scale. I personally like to just have Rex out because Rex can always be a very difficult card to deal with. Now that we've done all our searching too, I'm going to activate Pot of Desires. And I'm going to draw 2. It's never good to see Desires off Desires, but I'll take the additional body, which changes the way this build actually plays out. So from here, we can go... it doesn't really matter which one we're going to activate because we both have level 5 that are 3 scales. So we're going to activate, and we're going to go Pendulum Summon here. We're going to Pendulum the 2 from the extra. And then we're going to special the 2 from hand. And then from here, we're going to overlay and make infinity. And then we're going to overlay these 2. Again, you can also make the IP Avermax play here. I'm just using more of an Xyz heavy build. I'm actually going to make Abyss Dweller, looking at the current meta. So now we have a Dweller plus Infinity, which is honestly probably enough to end most tier element boards. And then let me reset here. I want to show you guys what the best play in this deck can be, potentially. This hand's pretty good. I'm trying to see Tuneful Princess. So let me see if I can get that going. Buzzsaw, it's not bad. There it is. Oh, this hand's phenomenal. This hand's exactly what I want. Okay, so normal summoning Tuneful Princess. We're gonna send it to grave to activate its effect to get 2 level 4s. And this also can be any other, like this can be any other play from what I'm doing, but I'm just going into this to kind of show off what this deck can do in this point. We're gonna declare Buzzsaw targeting itself. We're gonna get that Silent Angler from deck. From here, we're going to overlay these 2, and we're going to make a Bahamut Shark. So Bahamut Shark number 1 is out. We're going to detach, and we're going to summon us a Totally Awesome. From here, I'm going to activate Dinomist Charge. I already have the Dynamite in hand, which means I can search any other piece that I want right now. So we're actually going to go grab a Ceratops.
So just keep in mind, though, if you do use Buzzsaw Shark's effect, you are locked into Exceeds.
Right, which is why this is a more heavy Xyz build.
Correct.
So we're actually going to grab, let's see. We already have the Instant Fusion, the Ready Fusion 2, so we have a level 4 play immediately available as well. I'm going to grab... I don't think it really matters here. We'll grab... Could do that to that to that. Yeah, we'll just grab those. And then from here, we can activate scale. Activate scale. Pendulum summon. So we're going to pendulum summon for 1. We can use the effect of Dynamite here if we don't have the Ready Fusion to special summon this, but since we have the Dinomist, the Ready Fusion, we're just going to activate it now. We're going to get us the Rare Fish. Overlay these 2. So from here, we can go Stealth Kraken, we can go Bahamut Shark again, we can go Abyss Dweller, really depending on the match you're in. For right now, we're just going to go for the more Wombo combo play. So we're going to go for Bahamut Shark, detaching that Rare Fish, summoning another Totally Awesome. There we go. And then we're going to overlay the Bahamut Sharks. We're going to make Utopic Future, and then Utopic Draco. So right off the bat, this board is much better. We have 2 negates, we have 3 negates set up, which can just be enough. Theoretically, this could have been Kraken, Toad, plus some kind of another interruption, maybe Abyss Dweller at some point, but this is what this deck can potentially do. You don't really need the link plays in this build so much, as more so you're just kind of going for the Eggsy spammy whammy. Like, this hand is also insanely good. We can actually save the effect of Silent Angler, or you save the effect of Buzzsaw since we already have the Tunaful in hand, and actually do a lot more with it. So we can go normal summon this, send this to grave, get us the Buzzsaw. Where is it? Special summon attack. Not an on-summon effect, which can come up. We can also just special summon the Angler here and make a Shark that way. But what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to activate the scale, Pendulum, overlay, and then we can go further. This deck honestly has a lot of potential for blowouts. It does lose a little bit harder to hand traps, unfortunately, but the Dinomist cards can usually make up for that. This deck's also incredible going second. I don't know, Lawan, if you agree with me on that, but this deck can just blow out decks going second.
Oh, absolutely. That deck can easily OTK going second.
Yeah, anytime you see Dynamite or access to Dynamite, you're probably going to win that game, at least. I also saw the instant ready, so I have free plays as well, so I can make both the rank 4 and rank 5 plays off of this, which is really good. But this is going to do it for our first Meta-Morph Mondays. Thank you for joining us. We will be back again next Monday with a brand new deck. I believe next week is Morphtronics, correct?
Oh god, is it really?
Yes, we're going to be running we have a Synchro build ready and an FTK build ready for that. So thank you for joining us. We have been your hosts, Abyssal Gaming, and we will see you next time.